Hello and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. We're trying to hit 500 before the end of the year, and we're about 25 off away from 400. So let's make that happen. Let's make 400 happen by at least the end of July. Then we can focus on 500, and we'll be able to hit that definitely before the end of the year. Okay, but yeah, also 10 p.m. tonight, my birthday stream. Obviously, my birthday today, I turned 21. And I'm going to celebrate 10 p.m. today. I'm going to link up with a bottle of Malibu and we're going to just have some fun. And ask some questions in the chat. Join me on that stream and, just come and interact in the chat. It'll be fun. All right. I was going to do another stream, but I realised that I've got some things on today. So it was quite impossible to do 2 streams today just because I had other things on. So I thought I'd do a video talking about, the latest West Ham news and stuff. Because we actually got some news for once. Now, we do have to wait about 3 days into the week all the time to actually know anything. Obviously, a lot of people are panicking to know if things are actually getting done. I always thought things were getting done, but still, I'm very impatient. So I don't know how many targets we actually need to address. So I would like some clarity. Now, here's the thing. Now, the positions that we seem to be going for, that we seem to be linked with players specifically, is right back and the attacking position, so left wing and striker. Now, going on to the right back position, I think the Kyle Walker-Peters deal is not going to happen. I think Southampton have absolutely finessed us when it comes to the whole payment stuff. We have made more money on Flynn Downs than we bought him for, so we made profit. However, a Kyle Walker-Peters would have been nice in return. So I don't know whether that means we're going to go after Wan-Bissaka. I don't know. Maybe we have someone else in the pipeline. But I would like another right back. I would like a right back. We need one. Can't go in with just Vladimir Sufal. And I'm sure the manager would like one as well. Just because if we go on this USA games against Wolves and Palace and we're still playing Patrick Kelly at right wing back and Casey at right back, etc. and Kadoa at right back, it's going to be a bit awkward to see how his team fares out with no right back. He might have to just play Mavropanos then. Because Mavropanos can play right back, but then it wouldn't even out with the centre-backs that he has and stuff. So he might have to just play Kilman and Aged, Kilman and Zuma and Aged. Speaking of Zuma and Aged, it looks like they're staying, because who is going in for them? I've not heard one offer in. You've only heard Saudi clubs interested. You've only heard French clubs interested in Aged. Literally nobody wants Kurt Zuma. He's on 1 year left, and we're probably going to lose him on a free. Unless he gets new knees, and he becomes the old Kurt Zuma that we actually signed, even though he was still getting injured. That's the only way Zuma can survive at this club, and he gets a new contract. However, don't think that's going to happen. Don't think that's going to happen at all. Speaking of centre-backs as well, Todibo. Let's talk about Todibo. Now, I would like to preface this by saying Todibo is probably not going to happen. Todibo is not going to West Ham if a club like Juventus is interested. I'm pretty sure he's very fine with, I'll stick it out at Nice for now and just wait for that Juventus offer. Juventus also need to sell to buy. I don't know who they're going to sell. I'm assuming that Sule guy is going to be a part of that. Well, there's many players that get sold. He's linked to Roma and Leicester. So I'm sure that will help fund whatever they want for Todibo. I saw something about loan to buy, what we were trying to do. I don't think that's true. Just because of the source, and why would they accept a loan to buy offer? They would never accept that. But yeah, I think he's waiting for Champions League football. I think it makes sense as well. If you're picking Juventus over West Ham, let's be honest, guys. Unless your actual thing is to move to the Premier League, you're picking Juventus over West Ham. That would be quite ridiculous if you picked us over Juventus. That would be a very gas moment. And also, we've always said that we're probably going to sell a centre-back if we're going to get another centre-back. I'm sure we're monitoring other centre-back targets, but I don't think any of those are actually going to happen unless, one of the centre-backs actually goes. If we actually have 5 centre-backs at the end, it'll be a bit ridiculous. Because we need players in other positions. And speaking of other positions, let's move on to midfield before I talk about the attack. Now, some of you were on the watch-along against Ferencvaros. I forgot how to pronounce that. And when you saw us play, you saw us have a midfield of Patrick Kelly, at times, not even Patrick Kelly, it was Freddie Potts, Orford and Ward-Prowse in the first half. And the second half, it was Potts, someone else. Don't particularly remember who it was. But obviously, we actually addressed this before, that Lopetegui would like to see Freddie Potts and Flynn Downs in pre-season. Southampton already paid the money for Flynn Downs, so it makes sense that obviously he was actually meant to play that game, but he left. But it makes sense that we're not really linked to midfielders at this moment in time, because I have a weird feeling that Kudus and Paquetá are going to play in midfield when they have more numbers. Kudus has played on the wing right now because we don't have many wingers. And I think Ward-Prowse will be an option. Obviously, Souček will be an option, unfortunately. But also, we've got some additions there that we might want to look at now. Lewis Orford was probably man of the match. Probably West Ham's best player on the pitch. The man who needs to sign a new deal, we need to get him a new deal, because obviously clubs are sniffing around. The guy is a controller. The guy likes to set the tempo. And I watched him in the under-18s. He's amazing. He's an amazing player, Lewis Orford. I think he will make it at West Ham if he signs a new deal as well. I think a lot of these youngsters that we've got coming through that won the Youth Cup, they've been coached very well in the youth side, and they've been developed really well. And I think we've got the right manager to develop them right now, if I'm being completely real. So I think we're not going to sign a 6 or an 8 just as yet. Obviously, Freddie Potts impressed with Wickham as well. So we'll see if he can make that step up to the Premier League. I think once we know what we're going to do with them, whether we're going to loan them out, which I'm sure will come in a couple of weeks into August and stuff, then we'll know what we want to do with the midfield. Like, for example, if we decide that we don't want to do anything with the youngsters that we have, we need to sign a 6. Or, I want to put this out there, we need to sign someone that can make from deep, that could also play the number 8 position. So, I'd say just buy a midfielder that can play, that is really good in both the 6 and the 8, so we can cover all bases. That's what I'd say if I was director of football. I'm not director of football. I'm just a normal civilian. But let's move on to the attackers. Obviously, striker. Bro, I've seen rumours of bid for Sorloth. I don't know anything about him when he's been in La Liga. Only saw a little bit of him when he was at Palace. It's whatever, innit? I don't know if that's true. I doubt it. I doubt we're going to get Sorloth. Obviously, Jonathan David and Ivan Toney. Toney, the only thing is the wages, just because obviously he's got 1 year left anyway, so you're looking for the big payday. And nobody wants to go in for him anymore. Like, I know I saw rumours about him being back on Man United's list. I don't think that's true either. And I don't think they're going to go after another striker after getting Xerxes. And that will cause a lot of upheaval with Højlund and shit, even though he's dog shit. Who else? Yeah, Duran. Obviously, clubs. It's been said that clubs are trying to move the goalposts, like both of them. Like both West Ham and Aston Villa are trying to move the goalposts when it comes to the price. So, obviously, the rumours last Tuesday, I'm pretty sure, was 35 million was close to being agreed, and maybe we'll go up to 40, etc. And I was thinking I was going to get done after the Copa America, and we were going to get Here We Go this week. But that all seemed to stall because of the clubs and stuff. The thing is, Aston Villa probably want to sell because they got Cameron Archer back. The clubs are interested. Emery does not want him. And it'll be perfect for Duran to move. But it doesn't look like we're going to keep pursuing that, let's say. And I don't think we're going to go after any other striker. Which does worry me a bit. Listen, if Danny Ings does impress, we've got a third option, but he should be a third choice striker, in my opinion. Danny Ings scored a beautiful free kick in that pre-season. Obviously, a lot of people are going to probably comment about Ward-Prowse's free kicks after that. The problem is Ward-Prowse puts too much pressure on himself to impress for free kicks and stuff. All I'm saying is that West Ham Wolves and West Ham Southampton is going to be very interesting next season. All right, let's move on to the last player, Reiss Nelson, the man who's in the title of this video. Now, I like Reiss Nelson. I've been a big fan of Reiss Nelson for a while. And the reason why I've been a big fan for a while is because I saw the ability beforehand. You know, when Arsenal was shit, he was still not getting chances, really. Obviously, they had a crop of players coming through. Like, Martinelli was just coming through at this point, and so is Smith Rowe. And so is Saka, but he was mainly playing more wing-back or midfield. And then Saka put his position down as a right winger, and they tried to make Nicolas Pepe work. I always liked Reiss Nelson. the technical ability, the ability to strike a ball very well. And he can play both sides of the wing. We don't need a right winger, but we're signing him specifically for a left wing position. Now, we do need a left winger that can cut in on his right foot, just to give us a bit of a more dynamism. We've got Guilherme, we've got Cornet. I do have a feeling, though, if we do sign Reiss Nelson, that Maxwell Cornet will probably leave, and we probably won't get much playtime. I don't think he'll get playtime if Reiss Nelson signs, just because we've got Nelson and Guilherme as our left winger options. Obviously, Guilherme can play a lot of positions, and so can Reiss Nelson. But also, Arsenal are going to be very hard to negotiate with anyway, because you know what they're like. And Nelson's got a few years on his contract, so they're probably going to want a bit of a price for him. But I think he's worth going in for and buying into someone that needs to prove themselves. It's almost like the Lingard effect, where you're at a big club, you need to get back your career back on track. So let me prove myself at a club that's a bit lower than the level I was already at. I think Reiss Nelson's going to be that guy. And I think Reiss Nelson will start for us a lot. And I wanted him for a couple of years. When we were linked with him a couple of years ago, I was like, this would be a great winger option. We needed I was thinking about backup right winger from Jared Bowen at the time, but even now, like there was a period of time where he started he started a couple of games. So I was thinking, you're a really good player, but he just doesn't get a chance because obviously Arteta at Arsenal has a lot of his favourites. Like Saka plays every game. Saka plays every game until he literally can't play anymore, which is a bit worrying if you're looking at it from a Saka point of view. Also, on the left-hand side, they've got Trossard and Martinelli, so it's very hard to get in over them two. I know Martinelli's been shit, but Trossard is a really good player. And then you've also got Jesus that can play those positions. Fabio Vieira might be shifted out to the right at times, so that's it, really. Like, bring Reiss Nelson. We missed out on Jaden Philogene. He's going to Aston Villa. Aston Villa done some very smart business, obviously getting Cameron Archer back, getting Philogene back, and signing all those players. We're going to talk about them soon when I do my whole West Ham countdown series. But yeah, that has been it for me. Let me know what you think about every player, every position I've talked about, whether it's the midfield position, the defence position with Todibo, the Reiss Nelson, the striker position. Put it all in the comments. I'll come and interact with you, of course. And come and interact with me in the chat tonight at 10 p.m, where I'm just going to be doing a birthday Q&A and telling you why I started YouTube. So come and join me at 10 p.m. UK time. All right. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me, the email for the inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.